A humble profession touches forbidden power. This is Lin Feng, a low-tier awakener. His profession is simply a farmer, but his peace is constantly threatened by monsters. And now the harvest season has begun. He gives his enemies a simple choice: leave his precious crops alone, or have a little chat with his tenants. The legend of a farmer who cultivates an undead army begins. 300 years ago, a cataclysm unleashed a devastating demon war. Humanity survived by awakening professions, led by 10 pillars of power. Today is the day of the awakening ceremony. Lin Feng arrives with his uncle Jiang. The place is packed. Everyone here will be tested and ranked for a profession. Hopefuls pray to statues of heroes for a high-rank awakening. But a smug young man scoffs at their pathetic dreams. A rumor spreads: a legendary profession is up for grabs. Suddenly, the testing begins with a flash of light. Results are called out, mostly low ranks, until an S rank appears. A young man watches, filled with envy. Lin Feng sees an opportunity, offering a magic-boosting tomato. He has a whole bag of stat-boosting vegetables for sale. The crowd is skeptical, calling it a scam. But Lin Feng sweetens the deal: the first one is free. The boy takes the tomato, still not fully convinced. He takes a hesitant bite of the tomato. Suddenly, his magic power surges through him. A man in a suit recognizes the rare produce. He winks, wanting to buy the entire stock. The crowd erupts, clamoring for the vegetables. Lin Feng smirks. His maxed-out profession is working. Later, Lin Feng waits outside a supply shop. A familiar figure approaches him. A blond man lists off expensive farming supplies. He hands over a small payment for the goods. The man asks why he doesn't grow more. Lin Feng retorts that it's not that simple. His friend laments his wasted childhood talent. Once a genius, he awakened as a mere farmer. But Lin Feng is content with a peaceful life. He vows to manage the family farm for his mother. Suddenly, a single drop lands on his nose. He looks up, confused by the sudden rain. A man plummets from the sky above. He crashes hard onto the pavement. The man lies broken, his gear scattered. He gasps out a warning of betrayal. Before he can finish, a dark scythe descends. Lin Feng is stunned by the revelation. A demon appears, mocking him for not running. The demon reveals he's injured and on the run. Suddenly, his gaze shifts. Lin Feng tries to sneak away from the scene, but the killer's voice stops him cold. He grabs the kid, vowing to make him an offering. Lin Feng is trapped by the overwhelming magic. He desperately searches for a way to fight back. He remembers his maxed-out farming skill. He summons a simple farm tool and swings it at the demon's gut. The demon is stunned. A farmer actually hurt him. Lin Feng pulls out another piece of gear. He unleashes a massive blast of energy. The demon counters with a vortex of dark magic. He stands his ground, enraged by the assault. Lin Feng recognizes the deadly marking formation. The demon changes tactics, aiming to possess him. His dark essence shoots into Lin Feng's body. The kid screams, fighting the spiritual invasion. But through the pain, a smirk appears. The demon believes he has won, mocking his new vessel. But Lin Feng's will is stronger than he expected. The demon can't believe the farmer is resisting him. The dark power begins to overwhelm him. He collapses, seemingly defeated by the possession. But inside his mind, Lin Feng makes a final choice. The demon panics, realizing the kid's insane plan. He drives the blade straight into his own chest. A desperate, last-ditch act of defiance. As darkness closes in, he accepts his fate. But from the wound, a golden light erupts. The demon's spirit recoils from the blinding power. This brilliant energy is hostile to the dark essence. Golden tendrils of light bind the screaming spirit. The demon is completely trapped by this unknown force. Its soul shatters, unlocking a system notification. Lin Feng's eyes snap open in shock. He looks down at his chest, somehow still alive. The possession failed, his body is still his own. He finds a strange, glowing remnant left behind. He quickly pulls up his status screen. His entire profession has been altered. He's now a unique class, Spirit Farm Master. His level is reset, but his max stats remain. He even absorbed the demon's soul force as magic. He also gained a new skill, Undead Summoning. He channels his original farming magic. And then the new Dark Necromancer power. The two opposing energies begin to merge. He didn't just change classes, he gained a second one. The demon's spiritual body dissolves at his feet. He must tame this new power or be devout. He scoffs at his old class's earthy aesthetic. Lin Feng activates his new skill, Undead Summoning. The bodies of his attackers disintegrate into dust. From their ashes, two undead servants rise. Their levels are reset, but their skills remain. He knows he has to flee before anyone arrives. He needs a safe place to test his new abilities. A full day passes, the necromancer's power still inside him. He watches a mundane financial news report. He tests his new magic on a simple crop. The plant's very structure begins to mutate, twisting into a grotesque, pulsating form. It unfurls like a monstrous alien flower. A dark tendril snatches a bird from the sky. Lin Feng is horrified by his creation. He grabs a shovel to destroy the evidence. But then an idea sparks in his mind. He could create the legendary crops his father dreamed of. An urgent news bulletin flashes across the screen. The necromancer and the dean are now wanted criminals. He knows he can never reveal his undead power. He needs a cover story for his new servants. A brilliant idea strikes him: farm servants. He decides to enroll in the academy for cover. He arrives at the bustling registration plaza. At the desk, he declares his new profession. The instructor doubts his class and demands an aura display. Lin Feng reveals a harmless green farming aura. The instructor dismisses the aura as worthless trash. Other applicants openly mock his low-level profession. He calmly claims his class is a rare mutation. Enraged, the instructor orders security to remove him. But Lin Feng calmly reminds him of the rules. He bluffs, dialing the supervision bureau for a report. The instructor furiously snatches his phone. He threatens Lin Feng, certain he will fail the test. The crowd whispers the instructor is a bitter failure. He silences the onlookers with a furious shout. The instructor marches the applicants to the testing field. They arrive at a massive, root-filled arena. Unfazed, Lin Feng walks right into the test. Inside the maze of roots, a blur attacks. He lands, quickly analyzing the environment. He's about to unleash industrialized farming. He pulls out his secret weapon, carrot essence. He lays a trap with the potent powder. The bait works, luring a horned rabbit out. His undead servant ambushes the unsuspecting creature. He orders his servants to hunt every nearby rabbit. His goal is to wipe out the entire population. The two servants split up, ready to hunt. One servant becomes a whirlwind of purple death. The other traps countless rabbits in energy spheres. He's impressed by his level 1 undead strength. Suddenly a bell rings, the test is over. The instructor orders all applicants to present their haul. Most applicants failed, the rabbits had vanished. The instructor sneers, ready to fail our boy. Lin Feng calmly activates his storage ring. An avalanche of rabbit carcasses erupts from it. The instructor and his aide are horrified. Lin Feng asks if he'd like to count all 500. The instructor furiously accuses him of cheating. A powerful figure arrives, scolding the instructor. He looks at Lin Feng and declares him passed. Our boy bows, thanking the director for his fairness. But the director notes a strange familiarity. A flicker of worry crosses Lin Feng's face. He wonders if his secret has been discovered. The man asks about his link to Professor Lin Zui. Lin Feng relaxes, his true abilities undiscovered. He proudly claims the professor is his father. The director smiles, offering to help his friend's son. A pink-haired woman reminds him of his audience. He brushes off her warning, playing it cool. He promises to show his nephew around later. Lin Feng is left with a bad feeling about the man. The woman gathers the students who passed the test. Elsewhere, an investigation is underway. An investigator theorizes about 2 disappearances. He suspects they killed each other over a stolen talent. The key is finding the new necromancer. His superior dismisses the theory as baseless. The investigator vows to find proof, storming out. His colleagues are glad to see him go. The director arrives with a chilling order: kill Hai Zio on sight. If he's dead, kill any necromancer they find. Back in the mission hall, the next test is announced. The mission: clear a level 5 dungeon in 3 hours. The low-level students panic at the impossible task. She clarifies they can form teams of up to 5. A frantic scramble for teammates begins. Lin Feng, however, stands alone. Suddenly, someone approaches him. He looks up, intrigued. A powerful level 7 mage wants to join his team. He knows she's strong, but his secret is too great. He politely refuses, preferring to go solo. The mage wishes him a smooth clear. He turns and walks away, resolute. At the counter, the clerk questions his solo attempt. She warns him about the risk, eyeing the solo reward. Lin Feng just smiles, taking the mission scroll. He arrives at the demonic beast lair dungeon. The guards stop him, asking about his team. He calmly states he's alone, but they try to stop him. He points to the scroll, the rules allow it. They realize he's after the special reward. With a sigh, they let him pass through the gate. Inside, the dungeon is a cavern of monster eggs. The portal seals shut behind him. Low-level monsters appear, no match for him now. But then a massive horde swarms from the darkness. He sees a perfect chance to test his new skill. He activates undead summoning, unleashing dark energy. A legion of shadow beasts rises at his command. He points forward, ordering his minions to attack. His new monster form undead charge into battle. They're efficient, consuming very little mana. His army tears through the dungeon's defenses. The humanoid summons are especially powerful, unleashing a devastating counterstrike. A spectral mage prepares its own attack. The mage unleashes a torrent of spectral energy. He realizes his undead can even do his farm work. The combined assault annihilates the monster horde. The slaughter earns him a quick level up to 7. He's impressed by his army's efficiency. In just half an hour, he reaches the boss room. A massive chained beast roars from the depths. Lin Feng smirks, ready to test his full power. He issues commands, coordinating a pincer attack. His summons execute the plan, overwhelming the boss. He casually sips a potion, watching them improve. The humanoid warrior engages the beast head-on. It gathers a huge amount of dark energy, then unleashes it in a devastating final blow. The boss kill grants him another level up. The boss defeated, a pile of loot remains. He scoffs at a stat potion, his crops are better. The system grants him 2 reward chests, 1 for each class. This gives him a brilliant idea for his farming. He emerges from the dungeon to stunned silence. The guards insist it's impossible, he's not even dirty. Back at the counter, he turns in the mission. The scroll is stamped, mission complete. She's stunned he actually passed it, so she warns him against such reckless behavior again. Lin Feng politely thanks the instructor for her advice. She directs him to the auditorium for the final interview. As he leaves, a group of thugs watches him. The instructor smirks, hoping he learns a lesson. Lin Feng walks through a simulated forest environment. He immediately senses that he's being followed. He stops, magic already swirling in his hand. The thugs debate, he's strong but must be exhausted. They decide to attack, motivated by his dungeon loot. They call out to the farmer, telling him to stop. The group surrounds him, demanding his rewards. He calmly asks why they chose to target him. One of them gets in his face, mocking his ignorance. They demand the demon bear gall, a rare stamina item. Lin Feng is unimpressed. His watermelons are just as good. He pulls out the item, asking if this is it. A thug lunges forward, desperate to snatch it. But the item begins to glow with explosive energy. It detonates, blasting the entire group away. A woman in red appears, scolding the attackers. The leader tells her to stay out of their business. She glares back, making it her business. She threatens to report them to the instructors. The leader sneers, deciding to take her down too. The thugs charge, launching an all-out assault. Lin Feng assesses her, a level 7 user. She's disgusted by their dishonorable tactics. She turns to Lin Feng, suggesting they team up. But our boy just turns and runs away. He tosses the demon bear gall back towards her. She catches the item, surprised by his move. He gives a friendly wave, telling her it's a gift. The thugs immediately swarm her for the loot. Back in a private room, he examines a skill scroll. A sudden realization hits him. He channels both of his mana types into it. It works, unlocking the special cultivation skill. He smirks, realizing it required dual-class mana. He summons his entire undead legion to test it. He focuses his energy, ready to begin. His main summon, Hai Kui, jumps to level 8. His other humanoid summon also reaches level 8. The demon horned bear hits level 9. The rest of his summons get a massive power boost. He's more than satisfied with the results. He admires his newly strengthened undead army. But there's just one small problem. He needs new land for his farming experiments. His rest time over, he gets ready to leave. The pink-haired woman waits, holding the item. He tells her to keep the demon bear gall. She's stunned, insisting it's too valuable. But he calls the precious item rotten material. She can't believe he just insulted her treasure. He leaves her behind, heading into the wilderness. He finds a secluded spot deep in the woods. He checks his surroundings, ensuring he's alone. It's time to test his new skill on some crops. He unleashes his dark energy on the plants. At first, nothing seems to have changed. But then his eyes widen in shock. The plants have grown enormous and are moving. His new skill created sentient, mobile plants. Suddenly, a man rushes through the forest. He's tracking the source of a necromancer's aura. The stranger sneaks up right behind Lin Feng. He grabs our boy's shoulder from behind. The man scoffs, asking if he's a farmer. Lin Feng's question back clearly disgusts him. He demands to know if he saw anyone strange. Lin Feng calmly says that he has. He points directly at the man asking the question. The stranger explodes, revealing his noble status. He powers up a flaming fist, ready to attack. The confrontation is about to begin in the woods. The noble transforms, roaring he'll make the farmer pay. Lin Feng braces himself as the ground shatters. He scoffs, saying this farmer can beat him one-handed. The beastman lunges, a blur of green energy. He hurls a power orb, but Lin Feng is already gone. Our boy recalls a plant with a paralysis effect. The beastman inhales deeply, breathing in a fine powder. Suddenly he's dizzy, his strength completely gone. Lin Feng explains it was just common monkshood powder. He smirks, declaring this is a farmer's true ability. A flurry of strikes overwhelms the weakened noble. He leaves the man tied up, a lesson learned. An announcement calls candidates to the instructor interview. Lin Feng realizes he's late and needs to hurry. He arrives at the Extraordinary Academy auditorium. The crowd whispers, doubting the dungeon-clearing rumors. Rivals dismiss him, confident in their own strength. The pink-haired girl tries to return the precious item. He tells her to keep it, insisting it's useless. He eats one, gaining a stat boost as everyone stares. Inside, the instructor interviews are about to begin. The proctor calls the first candidate forward, Xian. A man introduces himself as a level 6 Earth Warrior. He demonstrates his power, summoning a suit of armor. An instructor is impressed, offering to mentor him. Xian eagerly accepts the mentorship offer. The proctor calls the next candidates, Lin Feng. From the crowd, Lin Feng rises to his feet. He announces himself as a level 8 Spirit Farm Lord. The instructors are split, impressed by his level but mocking his class. They argue whether a farmer can be anything but cannon fodder. The head proctor proposes a combat assessment to settle it. He asks Lin Feng to prove he can fight on the front lines. Lin Feng hesitates, trying to hide his necromancer abilities. But a plan forms and he confidently agrees to the test. The auditorium floor is cleared for a one-on-one battle. His opponent and instructor gives him the challenge, survive 5 minutes. The instructor unleashes a crushing wave of golden energy. The immense pressure knocks the wind out of the audience. But Lin Feng stands his ground, completely unfazed. The instructor is impressed, urging him to attack with full force. Lin Feng notes the level 44 pressure is strong, but manageable. He gathers his nature mana, calling forth his servants. He's found a way to mask his undead summons, disguising them as harmless-looking nature spirits. The instructor mistakes the summon for a rare variant occupation. Intrigued, he draws twin blades, ready for a real fight. He lunges toward the disguised undead beast. His blades flash through the air, aimed to kill. The attack connects with a deafening crash. The instructor roars, unleashing a furious strike. His blades crash against the nature spirit. The head proctor is impressed by its resilience. The instructor follows up with a powerful kick. From the sidelines, another instructor mocks his power. But Lin Feng knows his undead feel no pain. The instructor realizes he underestimated the kid. He promises to compensate Lin Feng for his loss. He activates a berserker skill, Bloodthirst. The enhanced attack shatters the summon instantly. He stands there smug and victorious. He taunts Lin Feng, expecting him to cry. But behind the act, Lin Feng is expressionless. The instructor is confused by his lack of emotion. Suddenly, green tendrils erupt from the ground. They ensnare the instructor, who cries foul. Lin Feng controls the vines, a new summon forming. The head proctor watches the battle intently. The instructor powers up, shattering the restraints. But before he can retaliate, the test is over. The head proctor declares Lin Feng has passed. Lin Feng's only concern is his resources. The proctor assures him he'll get his full share. As a top performer, he's granted one request. Freedom and resources, this is a perfect deal. Lin Feng makes his one request, a piece of land. The proctor questions his strange choice. But a spirit farm lord needs a farm. The proctor grants him an abandoned training ground. With the deal struck, Lin Feng is dismissed. Meanwhile, in the principal's office, the principal reviews Lin Feng's file. He finds the boy's occupation quite interesting. Suddenly, an instructor rushes in with bad news. She hands over a disturbing report. An investigator was murdered by a necromancer. Unaware, Lin Feng arrives at his new land. He checks the deed, confirming his location. He activates the deed with a surge of power. The lease is only for 1 year. But for now, this entire wasteland is his. He unleashes his summoning magic. His undead army rises to serve him. It's time to get this farm running. The dark night begins clearing the land. The water spirit carves out a riverbed. Even the smaller spirits get to work. With his army at work, Lin Feng relaxes. The land is reclaimed in record time. His summons are more efficient than he imagined. The Dark Knight smirks with satisfaction. He salutes Lin Feng, awaiting his next order. Lin Feng sighs, thinking they lack true consciousness. He turns away, dismissing the thought. But behind him, the knight watches intently. A knowing smile plays on its lips. With the land cleared, he inspects the greenhouse. Inside, rows of magical plants are growing. These crops grant permanent and temporary stat boosts. While others grind, he'll simply grow his power. He wishes he could share this power with others. But first, he must plant normal crops as a disguise. One day passes in a blur of hard work. The first harvest of potatoes is ready. He teaches his undead army how to farm. His undead workforce is surprisingly efficient. Suddenly, he spots something out of place. One of his smaller summons is eating a potato. He watches, confused by the creature's actions. The lizard begins to glow, its stats increasing. He realizes the potato caused this chain. Could his crops work on the undead too? Meanwhile, a shadowy figure watches from afar. The spy notes the farm's rapid development. He scoffs, preparing to break into the greenhouse. The spy sees only one person, suspecting a trap. He moves along the roof, ready to strike. The infiltrator smashes through the wall, but a potato bomb springs the trap. He dodges the initial explosion. He scoffs at such a simple defense. He begins stomping the potato mines, but he's made a fatal miscalculation. The entire field of mines detonates. A massive blast engulfs the area. From the smoke, a new guardian rises. A plant spirit takes a humanoid form. Its body is woven from living vines. Its glowing eyes lock onto the intruder. The spy is blown back, cursing his mission. He draws his blade, ready to fight back. He cuts through a swarm of plant attacks. He senses a strange mix of undead aura. He recalls his mission from a high priest. This must be the necromancer's hideout. He questions if High Zio has betrayed them. Deciding to retreat, he flees into the night. The farm is quiet once more. A new day dawns on the compound. Lin Feng prepares for another day of work. But he's met with a shocking sight. His farming tools fall to the ground. The entire field is a crater. A dark shadow soars across the sky. Lin Feng senses an unwelcome presence. A massive dragon descends with two men. They are law enforcement officers. Their detector confirms the land is leased, but they still suspect demonic activity. The captain calls out to Lin Feng. Our boy wonders why they're here. They demand to inspect the property. Lin Feng feigns ignorance about any magic. The captain grows impatient with the delay. He connects this energy to a recent death. He immediately accuses Lin Feng of being a spy. The pressure mounts on our hero. The captain Haru demands his surrender. His partner urges caution but agrees it's suspicious. He formally asks Lin Feng to open the barrier. Lin Feng knows he has to drive them away. He plays the victim, a humble, bullied farmer. The junior officer starts to feel pity, but the captain isn't falling for the act. He prepares to break through by force. Captain Haru unleashes a furious punch. His fist smashes into the invisible barrier, but Lin Feng barely feels a thing. He decides he has to sell the injury. He collapses, playing the part of a victim. He accuses the captain of police brutality. The junior officer holds Haru back. He argues that demons despise nature magic. He helps Lin Feng up, apologizing for the mistake. Lin Feng lays on the praise, thanking the officer. The captain is seething with rage. He can't believe they're falling for the act. His partner shields Lin Feng from his anger. Haru is forced to stand down for now. The officers finally retreat on their dragons. Lin Feng knows he needs more power to be safe. Suddenly, a paper crane messenger appears. It delivers a summons from the academy. He's being called for a mandatory ability test. Meanwhile, two powerful figures observe from afar. The principal notes his unusual spirit farm lord class. Her companion is shocked that Vera is so impressed. She confirms his pure aura clears him of demonic ties. They agree the real show is about to begin. The two mysterious figures vanish into thin air. Lin Feng arrives at the academy with other students. He listens as they gossip about the upcoming tests. A pink-haired instructor steps forward, demanding silence. She delivers grim news from the demon front. The students panic, they just enrolled for classes. She declares this is a mandatory conscription for war. A pair of siblings look on with dread, but Lin Feng remains completely unfazed. The girl is immediately impressed by his calm demeanor. The instructor orders all freshmen to the drill grounds. Lin Feng hopes his farmer class will keep him off the list. He's immediately called out for his first match. His opponent mocks his class and unleashes a fire spell. He easily dodges, insulting her weak attack. She begins a long, dramatic incantation, but he closes the distance in an instant. A single strike ends the fight before it begins. He dominates match after match with ease. A different instructor approaches, impressed by his talent. She tells him he's qualified for a higher platform. She offers a path to a more elite academy, but Lin Feng flatly rejects the offer. The instructor is stunned by his refusal. He says he just wants a bigger piece of land to farm. She presses him, asking for his ultimate ambition. Lin Feng declares his ambition is to farm more land. A suited official questions if his current land isn't enough. He grins, declaring more land is always better. He heads off to his next fight with a smile. The official notes his honesty, suggesting they grant his wish. The instructor asks if he's planning to recruit Lin Feng. The official admits the kid is certainly interesting. His next opponent, a pink-haired girl, prepares for battle. She vows to give this fight her absolute all, but Lin Feng casually announces he plans to surrender. Enraged, she launches a furious attack. He's surprised she's starting with a Phase 2 ability. He casually summons a storm of green energy. Green tendrils erupt, instantly trapping his opponent. She struggles to cut through the massive green stalks. The officials are stunned by his incredibly pure mana. His potential is limitless, exceeding even high-level masters. The instructor makes a shocking declaration. She wants to take him as her teacher. The official asks if she misspoke, but she's serious. He asks if the war has made her lose her mind. She insists, determined to become his student. Meanwhile, Lin Feng dominates the arena against all comers. He effortlessly dodges another furious assault. He plans to surrender, but a voice threatens his farm. Lin Feng's eyes crackle with lightning. No one is taking his land. His opponent feels the sudden shift in his aura. He's finally fighting for real. He gathers a vortex of pure nature energy. She counters, unleashing a torrent of flames. A massive fireball hurtles across the arena, but Lin Feng doesn't even flinch. He throws a single, serious punch. His fist glows with concentrated power. She sees the overwhelming force and freezes. He smirks, thanking her for the easy win. The other fighters are stunned by his hidden strength. The instructor recognizes his perfect control over nature. The match is called Winner Lin Feng. He helps his defeated opponent to her feet. She admits he's on another level. He humbly says he just hits hard. Internally, he's just relieved his land is safe. The official is pleased with the show. The headmaster encourages him to keep growing stronger. But Lin Feng vows revenge for the threat. He walks away, plotting against the old man. Suddenly, he senses a presence nearby. A figure materializes from the leaves of a tree. A green-haired woman appears, asking for his guidance. Lin Feng is completely bewildered by the request. She introduces herself as Vila, a master awed by his power. She hopes he can help her break her limits. He insists he's just a farmer, not a teacher. She pleads, asking only to observe his fields. She bows low, but he can't risk his secret crops. He tries to refuse, claiming he's no teacher. The official steps in, urging him to agree. He whispers a deal, and Lin Feng is stunned. After a moment's thought, he finally agrees. Vila is ecstatic, thanking him profusely. She's so eager she wants to go immediately. They arrive, but he won't let her in the greenhouse. He tells her to look around while he works. She senses the pure magic in his advanced crops. Her curiosity about Lin Feng deepens. An hour later, she's inspecting the soil. She holds a clump of dirt, completely stunned. She asks how he grew them in such plain soil. He confirms it, asking if he used magic items. Lin Feng admits he's too poor for such items. She realizes his nature magic is just that powerful. An idea sparks in her mind. She reveals a policy to trade dungeon loot. Lin Feng is shocked by this revelation. A boss fang can be traded for the fertilizer he needs, but she warns him the policy is ending soon. He's fired up and decides to go immediately. As he runs off, she admires his pure spirit. He arrives at the level 10 Shadowed Deepwood dungeon. Other students mock the farmer with a hoe. Lin Feng requests solo entry from an instructor. The official warns him his level is too low, but our boy knows the rules and insists. The instructor is stunned by his confidence. From behind, Vila signals him to allow it. The instructor relents, warning him to be careful. The elites sneer, calling him cannon fodder. They believe he's an embarrassment who will die inside. Inside, another party is already clearing monsters. A powerful hunter unleashes a magical barrage. His shadow-clad partner tears through the wolves. Lin Feng simply raises a fallen beast as his own. He summons a cute but deadly kobold undead. He reaches the final boss, completely unimpressed. He casually tells the other party to go ahead. The massive kobold chieftain raises its weapon, but the shadow hunter intercepts the blow. He unleashes a devastating counterattack. The blast sends the dungeon boss flying. The boss is defeated and Lin Feng levels up. He gets the fang but can't summon the boss. His level is too low to raise such a powerful undead. But he has what he came for, the chieftain's fang. With the fang secured, Lin Feng has a new mission. He exits the dungeon, ready to make his trade. Outside, officials discuss his resource exchange. Suddenly, a system alert shatters the comm. Lin Feng emerges from the portal, unaware. The crowd erupts, accusing him of cheating. The elites demand an investigation into his run. Even Vila is stunned by his one-shot clear. A tense crowd gathers around the dungeon gate. He's immediately surrounded by hostile students. They block his path, faces twisted with envy. A rival student demands his rewards be confiscated, but the instructor states the rules are clear. The student challenges him to a resource wager. It's a dungeon speed run, winner takes everything. Lin Feng dismisses the challenge as boring. The challenger raises the stakes, a rare blueprint. Vila urges him to accept the wager immediately. The Lamp of Nature is a priceless farming artifact. His opponent mocks him, pushing for an answer. A flashback reveals this was a coordinated setup. Lin Feng decides he can win without revealing his secrets. With a confident smirk, he accepts the challenge. The challenger gloats, certain he'll be exposed. But Lin Feng stands ready, completely unfazed. The instructor enters the dungeon with the challenger. The rival student smirks, ready to show off. He unleashes a torrent of green summoning energy. A powerful spectral army materializes behind him. The instructor is stunned by the speed and quality. He's confident this will prove his own strength. He orders his spectral army to attack. A pack of monstrous wolves rushes to meet them. His summons form a massive spectral bear, crashing into the horde with explosive force. A spectral archer takes aim from the back lines. Energy blasts rip through the monster ranks. Another summon prepares a powerful magic attack. The spell detonates with devastating force. The dungeon floor shatters from the impact. The instructor is shocked by the speed of the clear. He wonders if this is a rare, special profession. The challenger boasts he's ready for the boss. Meanwhile, Lin Feng enters the same dungeon. His assassin, Little Dragon, leaps into action. A hulking kobold warrior blocks their path. Lin Feng calmly issues his battle commands. His own spectral bear, Big Bear, materializes. It stands ready to tank the massive enemy. Another of his summons blurs into the fight. Little Dragon unleashes a devastating breath attack. The icy blast freezes and shatters the ground. The instructor realizes this talent is unprecedented. In an instant, the dungeon boss is defeated. Lin Feng stands over the fallen behemoth. The sheer scale of the victory is staggering. He asks the teacher if he's proven his worth. The instructor, still stunned, asks him to exit, but Lin Feng wants to stay a little longer. He approaches the boss's corpse with an idea. He channels a dark, crackling energy into it. With a single command, he orders it to rise. A new, terrifying power awakens from the dead. The dungeon boss is reborn as his shadow summon. His work done, Lin Feng leaves the dungeon. He emerges from the portal, completely unfazed. The students who mocked him now flee in fear. The instructor and a woman await his return. He's given his rightful rewards and compensation. Lin Feng accepts them with a stoic expression. The woman explains his rival fled after being exposed. He smirks, calling his new loot fertilizer. The instructor gives the woman a memory stone of the fight. Elsewhere, a fist smashes into a bag. The rival Haru seethes with rage and humiliation. Haru realizes force and rules won't work. He decides to target Lin Feng's magic instead. He sends a letter to his powerful uncle. The order, recall the nature-type instructors. His subordinate questions the sudden move. He'll use their purest beliefs against Lin Feng. Elsewhere, a woman named Vila watches the recording. She's stunned by his instinctual grasp of power. She decides to recall the old masters herself. A messenger bird carries her urgent letter. She warns them a great talent will be lost. For days, Lin Feng lives inside the dungeon. He clears it again and again, relentlessly. His name dominates the speedrun leaderboards. Other students are bored by his endless farming. He trades in his loot for more fertilizer. The clerk says he has enough credits to advance. Lin Feng learns of the Upper Academy. It's a gathering place for true elites. The rewards there are on another level. A new path opens up for our boy. He thanks the man for the valuable advice. He heads straight to the Academy Mission Hall. He applies for promotion to Sunwheel Academy. He hands over his hard-earned credit voucher. His credit score flashes on screen, over 30,000. The crowd murmurs, recognizing the dungeon farmer. The clerk verifies his credits and hands him the mission. He asks about the rewards for advancing. Promotion unlocks access to gold and platinum tier gear. The mission is simple, but he has an errand first. He makes his way to a different part of the academy. A senior gifts him a lamp of nature with a warning. Lin Feng accepts it with a confident smile. He sneaks away to a secluded spot. He recalls the warning about death energy, but an instinct tells him to do the exact opposite. He channels his death magic into the nature artifact. The lamp transforms, unleashing a torrent of undead power. It's been corrupted, changing from nature to undead. Suddenly, a burst of light erupts from the woods. He quickly conceals the evidence of his experiment. Luckily, he can reverse the transformation at will. Back at his farm outside the city, he prepares to test the lamp's true power. The lamp of nature bathes the area in light. His crops grow at an impossible speed. He's stunned by the artifact's incredible effect. This only fuels his desire to reach the upper academy. With new motivation, he speeds off to his mission. A flicker of doubt crosses his mind. A vision of a powerful, armored being appears. He arrives at the abandoned watchtower. This is the location for his promotion mission. He knows to be cautious in this desolate place. He spots fresh footprints, realizing he's not alone. Who else would be out here? He looks up, hearing voices from the tower. Two men are there to sabotage his mission. Their plan is to steal the objective and destroy it. They're confident Lin Feng will fail, but he's already standing right behind them. He thanks them for finding the item for him. The saboteurs are frozen in pure shock. They panic and decide to attack him. The two thugs charge forward with killing intent. Lin Feng calmly prepares a counterattack. Razor-sharp leaves erupt from the ground. The plants ensnare his attackers instantly. He hangs them upside down, demanding answers. A cold smile spreads across his face. Later, back at his farm at dusk, he clenches his fist, muttering a name, Haru. He knows this rival will eventually expose him. Elsewhere, a young man looks up in shock. A new armored spirit awakens on his farm. It acts as a foreman for his plant creatures. Lin Feng marvels at his fully automated system. Meanwhile, Haru receives a grim report. His men sent to the watchtower are missing. He explodes in fury, shattering the wall. His rage is focused on one person, Lin Feng. He knows Lin Feng is the one who killed them. He orders his subordinate to hire assassins. He also suspects Lin Feng killed someone named Tuka. Back at the Academy Mission Hall, Lin Feng is officially promoted into the Academy. He receives his new uniform and student badge. This promotion means more credits for his farm. He heads straight to the level 10 dungeon, but the guard denies his request for solo entry. Lin Feng is confused. This was never an issue. A new rule bans upper students from low-level dungeons. His plan to grind for resources is ruined. The guard is relieved. The kid was too efficient. Now his best farming route is completely gone. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind him. A man named Ron offers him a mission. His squad is one person short for a dungeon run. He invites Lin Feng to an upper-level dungeon. Lin Feng weighs his options. He needs the credits. A simple gathering mission seems safe enough. Ron is pleased, leading him to the dungeon. They arrive at a massive tree-like port. Ron points out the rest of his squad. He meets the stoic Yubei and imposing Carter. Their mission: collect moonlight grass and avoid combat. With the briefing done, the team enters the gate. They venture deep into a place called Shadowwood. Soon they find their target, the moonlight grass. Ron collects the plants, surprised by their luck. But their easy run is about to end. A dark elf patrol ambushes them from the ruins. The winged creatures swarm from all sides. They unleash a barrage of dark energy blasts. Ron deflects the attack with a swift counter. He orders Lin Feng to use his nature magic. Lin Feng acknowledges the command. He unleashes a wave of green energy. Thick vines erupt, binding the elf patrol. He summons a massive plant monster and smashes it into the trapped enemies. Ron follows up with a powerful slash, but the elves are signaling for reinforcements. Yubei's eyes narrow. The real fight begins now. But Carter has other plans. He slams a pillar into the ground. The earth splits open, swallowing Lin Feng. He barely catches the ledge. He looks up at his supposed teammates. Ron mockingly apologizes for the accident. Lin Feng realizes they're leaving him to die. Ron smirks, explaining their perfect alibi. Our boy asks if they fear getting caught. Ron details how they'll fake the evidence. Lin Feng asks if their plan is foolproof. They've done this before, it's a professional hit. Understanding the betrayal, he lets go. He plummets into the dark chasm. Ron scoffs, thinking he chose a quick death, but his smug expression turns to shock. Lin Feng rises from the pit, wreathed in shadow. He asks if they're ready to face his legion. The traitors stare in utter disbelief. Massive shadow soldiers emerge from the ground. One of his summons gathers immense power. It unleashes a devastating energy blast. Ron finally recognizes his power, a necromancer. Lin Feng asks if he has any last words. The terrified Ron begins to beg for his life. Lin Feng dismisses his apology as pure fear. He asks about the names Ron mentioned, but he quickly loses interest in the details. He simply orders his summons to bury them. A massive energy blast shakes the earth. The traitors lie dead, Ron's final curse unheard. Lin Feng tells him his suffering is just beginning. With a single command, he begins the ritual. The traitors rise again as his shadow soldiers. He wonders if humanoid summons retain intelligence. Elsewhere, a hidden observer notes the power. His revenge complete, Lin Feng prepares to leave. But the dungeon's exit is suddenly sealed. He's trapped inside with no way out. A system alert reveals a special item has activated. The dungeon is locked, but his stats are doubled. Suddenly, a dark presence emerges from the woods. The ground trembles from approaching hooves. An armored knight on a dark steed appears. The rider charges, crackling with raw power. Lin Feng feels the immense pressure from the knight. But with his new legion, he feels confident. He gives his shadow soldiers the command to go. The undead Ron leaps forward to intercept. He clashes with the knight in a blur of motion. The shadow soldiers unleash a coordinated assault. A binding spell ensnares the charging knight. Another shadow warrior lands a devastating kick. The shadow archer lets loose a volley of arrows. She draws her bow with deadly precision. The knight is riddled with dark projectiles. Lin Feng observes, noting their improved instincts. The powerful knight crashes to the ground. He demands to know how Lin Feng wields death magic. Lin Feng simply stares back, unimpressed. He repeats his earlier command, bury yourself. A shadowy claw erupts, seizing the knight. The boss is forced to his knees, defeated. His essence is absorbed into the Shadow Legion. A system alert announces 50% progress. Lin Feng realizes it's a double boss dungeon. He ventures deeper into the core of Shadowwood. He navigates a forest of giant mushrooms. Suddenly, he senses another powerful presence. He arrives in a vast, corrupted chamber. A pair of piercing green eyes watch him. The dungeon's true guardian questions his intrusion. The system identifies her, Guardian Savis, level 18. She gathers dark energy in her hand. An arcane assault surrounds Lin Feng instantly. The Spore Domain debuffs enemies but buffs his undead. His undead legion now has infinite energy. This Regrets of the Past buff is perfect. He unleashes his entire Shadow Legion. Elsewhere, a schemer reveals the dungeon is now sealed. He's confident the boss is unbeatable. He savors the thought of Lin Feng's demise. Back in the dungeon, a massive blast erupts. The smoke clears, revealing his new Shadow Knight. Lin Feng casually enjoys a post-fight snack. He stands over the defeated dungeon guardian. Savis lies on the ground, completely drained. She asks her former ally why he betrayed them. The Shadow Knight stands ready for his master's command. She snarls that he destroyed her incubation nest. She warns that its mother will find him. With her final words, the chamber explodes. A pillar of pure energy erupts from the ground. A system alert confirms the dungeon is cleared. He can already feel his power growing. The final reward materializes, a strange, dark egg. Lin Feng approaches, curious about the prize. It's a mythic item, embryo of a primordial demon. He connects her words to this incubation nest. He prepares to store his powerful new prize. He absorbs his new Shadow Knight into his storage. The system prompts him to exit the dungeon. His Shadow Legion dissolves as he walks to the portal. He considers resurrecting the fallen boss, Savis. With a smirk, he gives the command, rise. Dark energy envelops her body, reshaping it. She kneels before him, reborn as a shadow. Her new form introduces herself as the Executor of Death. Lin Feng is stunned that his summon can speak. He asks for confirmation and she repeats her title. He dismisses her, but she just says it again. The new summon is stuck on her one line. Annoyed, Lin Feng tells his new servant to be quiet. He finally steps out of the Shadowwood dungeon. A student waiting outside screams in disbelief. The entire crowd is shocked he cleared it alone. An instructor approaches, asking about the other students. Lin Feng spins a tale of a dark elf ambush. He claims the others died while he barely escaped. The instructor finds traces of dark elf magic, buying the story. In the crowd, a fist clenches with rage. A large student glares, clearly furious at the news. The instructor asks if anything else was unusual. Lin Feng mentions the regrets of the past effect. The angry student refuses to believe he could solo the boss. Lin Feng glances back, searching for his accuser. The furious student stands out in the crowd. His face contorts with disbelief and rage. The instructor asks if Lin Feng has any enemies. He plays innocent, claiming he's a new transfer student. The instructor promises justice as the accuser watches. The large student flushes, overwhelmed with frustration. He runs off, vowing to uncover the truth himself. Later that night, Lin Feng returns to his quarters. He examines the pulsating embryo from the dungeon. He suspects it was deliberately planted there to grow. The embryo reacts to both his dark and nature magic. He's stunned as the two energies should conflict. This strange object shares his unique dual nature. But he is human and this feels demonic. He withdraws his energy, knowing what he must do. He gets dressed, preparing for a serious meeting. There's only one person who can handle this. He knocks on the door to the principal's office. The principal is surprised to see him so late. Lin Feng reveals the mysterious, glowing ember. The principal is shocked, demanding to know its origin. Lin Feng explains it was a drop from the dungeon boss. He admits he thought it was just a normal item. The principal identifies it, the embryo of a primordial demon. The demons are secretly growing these things in dungeons. Lin Feng has never heard of such a thing. These demons grow stronger by devouring humans. The lowest forms appear almost harmless, but they evolve into monstrous beasts. Their final forms are apocalyptic threats. They use dungeons as secret incubators, feeding on the chaos of adventurers to grow. This one is set to hatch in just 6 months. Then he drops a heavy implication. The embryo only appears near a similar aura. The implication hits Lin Feng hard, but the principal was just testing him. He praises Lin Feng for his honesty. He demands Lin Feng swear loyalty to humanity. The principal is pleased with his answer. As a reward, he materializes a banner. It can create a personal, protected territory. Lin Feng realizes this is perfect for his farm. The principal sends him off to rest, but he leaves him with one last tip: a research paper on plant hybridization. The word hybridization sparks an idea. He sees a path to truly fuse his powers. He heads to the academy's greenhouse. A dark figure's eyes snap open. He learns there's a problem with Savis. Elsewhere, a man seethes with frustration. His subordinates failed to stop a mere kid. Now Sun Wheel Academy is investigating his crimes. He enters a hidden, secret chamber. Descending into the darkness below, he kneels before a terrifying demonic idol. He slices his arm in a blood ritual, offering his life force to the entity. The dark god Gyuladosa awakens. The man Haru begs for help against Lin Feng. Gyuladosa promises to send an agent to handle it, but Haru foolishly urges his master to hurry. The god unleashes its fury on the insect. A blast of pure energy slams into him. He's thrown across the stone chamber, crashing hard against the far wall. Battered and broken, he blames Lin Feng. A small purple spirit appears at his side. Meanwhile, a freshman exchange meeting begins. Lin Feng sits alone, completely bored. He'd rather be working on his farm. At least the food isn't terrible. Suddenly, another student approaches his table. Lin Feng looks up, annoyed by the interruption. A blonde student asks about the Shadowwood dungeon. Lin Feng is immediately suspicious of this stranger. He fakes tears, mentioning the seniors who died. The student feigns sympathy and backs away. This is the agent sent by Gyuladosa. Lin Feng watches him leave the hall. He knows that encounter was a test. Later, a muscular man rests in his room. Despite his allies, he feels deeply uneasy. A voice confirms his fears are justified. He jolts up, sensing an intruder. Lin Feng stands before him, a spirit at his back. He identifies the man as number 1. A fist crackles with green energy. Lin Feng unleashes a brutal punch. The man is blasted into the floor below, left broken and embedded in a crater. Stunned, he stares up at his attacker. He demands to know how Lin Feng got in. Lin Feng asks if he caused the dungeon incident. The man seethes with pure fury. Dark energy erupts from his body. He activates a forbidden demonic art. His body transforms into a monstrous form. Lin Feng recognizes a forbidden demon technique. The man laughs, a devout follower of Gyuladosa. He is connected to the 7th Demon King. The monster roars, enraged at the disrespect. He lunges forward with a furious scream. but Lin Feng's spirit guardian intercepts him. Her massive scythe meets his demonic claw. The impact shatters the air around them, his dark energy eating away at her blade. The spirit notes the powerful corrosive attack. Lin Feng realizes this test has gone wrong, but her weapon instantly regenerates itself. The monster gloats, thinking he has the advantage. Lin Feng prepares to unleash his own power. He must end this fight quickly now. He faces the demon, but he's not alone. An entire army of spirits appears behind him. The monster recognizes the undead magic, stunned. He weeps, saying Tuka's sacrifice was worth it. One of Lin Feng's spirits casually moves in. It impales the monster with a single strike. Lin Feng asks if he killed the agent Tuka, but the demon begins a final, desperate ritual. He offers his body as a vessel for his master. He summons the demon king Gyuladosa herself. The demon kneels before his summoned master Gyuladosa, but the demon king is furious at the disrespect. The vessel is confused by his master's rage. Gyuladosa gives a simple command, kill Lin Feng. He channels immense demonic power into his hand. A shockwave of purple energy blasts outward. She realizes Lin Feng is a necromancer, but her attack slams into an unseen barrier. The defensive magic shatters under the strain. The weak vessel can't handle Gyuladosa's power. His body begins to disintegrate from the inside out. The Demon King simply absorbs his life force. She discards the empty husk of her follower. Now she can fight the necromancer herself. Lin Feng knows his army is no match for her. The follower's sacrifice was ultimately meaningless. A dark magic circle glows beneath her feet, but Lin Feng suddenly has an idea. He taunts the Demon King for her arrogance. With a simple gesture, he gives the order. Gyuladosa sees his move as a weak provocation. She accepts the challenge, unleashing her own attack. One of his spirits erects a defensive wall. Another summons orbs of crackling energy, but her power shatters his forces with ease. Her power obliterates everything in its path. Gyuladosa seizes Lin Feng, offering him last words. She mocks his understanding of undead power, but Lin Feng says she's the ignorant one. He noticed she spared her follower's life, and her summoning circle had weakened. He figured it out, her power has limits. His true ace appears, proving his gamble right. The Demon King is banished, screaming in rage. Lin Feng stands alone on the ruined battlefield. He smirks, promising he'll be waiting for her. Nearby, onlookers notice the massive disturbance. One of them sees the aftermath and freezes. He screams for the others to run for their lives. At dawn, Lin Feng reflects on his victory. His magic is drained, the gamble almost cost him everything. He walks through a quiet farm, recovering, but he senses he's not alone. He turns to find a familiar face. A blonde swordsman rises, annoyed his mission was cut short. He draws his blade with a smirk. He asks Lin Feng to just die for him. Lin Feng calls upon his undead army. He makes the summoning gesture, then pretends he's completely out of magic. The swordsman's reflection glints in his eye. The blonde warrior lunges, blade flashing down, but Lin Feng easily dodges the strike. He's out of magic, but not out of ideas. He remembers the bone lantern's power. If he could just reach it, he could win. But there's no time left for that. His spirit summons, orders a retreat. The swordsman presses his attack, relentless. His blade cuts a golden arc through the air. Lin Feng leaps back, avoiding the blow. Suddenly, a massive horn erupts from the earth. The swordsman recoils in shock. A colossal beast towers over him. It slams down, sending him flying. Lin Feng stands protected by the creature's tendrils. Even he seems surprised by the summon. The swordsman faces the towering monster. He scoffs, calling it a cheap trick. He infuses his blade with magic, unleashing a devastating sword style. His attack connects with the beast. He slices clean through the massive limb. The distraction works. Lin Feng is running. He flees, his shadow revealing another life. The swordsman gives chase, relentless, but his master, an armored lord, gives a new command. He argues, saying the noble is too important to lose. The armored lord questions his subordinate's defiance. The swordsman is forced to his knees by an unseen power. His master gives him a new mission, find and kill. He's given a tracking device, Gyuladosa's mark. The swordsman accepts his orders without question. He tracks his prey to a field of strange plants. He incinerates the foliage with a blast of fire. He finally understands his target's trick. He turns and confronts the traitor, vowing that Lin Feng will not escape him. He closes the distance in a single bound, leaping across the battlefield with deadly grace. Lin Feng runs, but his enemy is right behind him. The swordsman's attack connects with a massive impact. He lands confident in his victory, standing over his defeated opponent. But Lin Feng smirks, yeah, it's over. He reveals a glowing crystal in his hand. The swordsman realizes his magic shouldn't power it. Lin Feng screams, forcing the artifact to activate. The crystal erupts with a brilliant green light. The swordsman's eyes widen in pure shock. Lin Feng holds the crystal as the world burns. Its power erupts, shattering the battlefield. Giant green roots burst from the ground. The vines twist and grow, reshaping the terrain. The swordsman is suddenly ensnared by glowing tendrils. He roars in fury at the nature-based magic. With a powerful shout, he shatters his bonds. He reveals a silver orb pulsing with dark energy. The two rivals face off once more. The orb summons an army of identical clones, but Lin Feng stands firm, wreathed in green light. A massive figure rises from the earth behind him. A nature guardian emerges, covered in living vines. The guardian unleashes tendrils against the clones. His vines clash with their demonic blades. The swords of the clones are instantly shattered. The guardian stands over the broken army. The swordsman recognizes him. Hai Zio, you're alive. Lin Feng gives his guardian a single command, kill him. Hai Zio moves in, grabbing the swordsman. The swordsman pleads that they are on the same side. His words are met with a brutal, bloody answer. The swordsman is thrown, his dark energy fading. Lin Feng coughs, weakened by the power he unleashed. He collapses, paralyzed by the artifact's backlash. Lin Feng lies on the ground, completely spent. His guardian, Hai Zio, watches over him. The massive guardian lets out a heavy sigh, but the defeated swordsman begins to transform. His body contorts into a demonic shape. The dark energy consumes his very being, until he shatters into nothingness. Elsewhere, a royal procession travels the land. Knights in silver armor guard a golden carriage. Inside, nobles and warriors travel together. A red-haired warrior speaks with a nobleman. The nobleman listens with a stern expression. He seems unimpressed by the warrior's words. His gaze drifts towards the passing scenery. Suddenly, he spots a surge of nature magic. The entire group is alerted by the disturbance. Their carriage jolts to an abrupt stop. They race towards the source of the energy. The warrior is shocked by the sudden change. A knight awaits orders as they approach. The warrior considers the implications of this power. At dawn, they arrive at Lin Feng's farm. Giant vines have torn the ground apart. The nobleman and his men survey the scene. He recognizes the immense purity of the magic. His men marvel at such hidden power. They deduce a battle with demons took place. They find Lin Feng collapsed from exhaustion. The nobleman sees the backlash from a powerful artifact. He uses his own magic to heal the boy. Lin Feng awakens inside his own spiritual plane. He feels the warm, gentle energy of his own power. But another, darker force swirls around him. He recognizes the chaotic necromancer power. The dark energy suddenly attacks him. He's thrown back, struggling to regain his footing. This power is completely out of his control. A dark crystal hangs in the sky above. From it, a shadowy form begins to gather. It's his guardian, Hai Zio, but twisted and dark. Hai Zio confirms that he did indeed die, but claims Lin Feng taught him the meaning of death. The spectral guardian surrounds him with dark tendrils. He lunges forward with a monstrous claw. Lin Feng is caught completely off guard. He's trapped, unable to break free from the grip. Hai Zio plans to kill him and steal his body. He will be reborn in Lin Feng's place, but something strikes him from behind. The guardian is stunned by the unexpected interference. A blast of green energy slams into Hai Zio. A whip of pure power lashes out again. The corrupted guardian roars in agony. He's thrown away from Lin Feng's body. He stumbles back, furious and confused. He recognizes this as nature power. The green energy forces him back further. The spiritual plane splits in two. Lin Feng's spirit is pulled back to safety. And just like that, the nightmare ends. He awakens, realizing he was saved by a fluke. But Hai Zio's hidden power is a ticking bomb. The nobleman confirms his injuries aren't serious. He sees Lin Feng is awake, noting the demon's high level. Lin Feng is confused, told the operation was a success. A man asks if he killed the demon. Our boy is immediately on guard. He doesn't know these people, so he stays silent. The nobleman tries to calm his nerves. He senses the boy's incredibly pure nature magic. He spots the ID tag from Sunwheel Academy. The man reaches into his coat. They're instructors from Extraordinary Academy. Lin Feng formally introduces himself to them. Elsewhere, a red-haired figure surveys the scene. The red-haired Earl demands an explanation from Seymour. A demon appeared, but the Sunwheel student killed it. The Earl seems to accept the report. He leans over Lin Feng, praising the young hero. But something catches his eye and he freezes. He spots the shattered sword, the demon's true form. Seymour places a hand on his shoulder. He asks the Earl if he's discovered something. The Earl deflects, angry that demons slipped past them. With the situation resolved, they prepare to leave. He orders his man to bring Lin Feng along. The headmaster must explain this.